The way organizations are using Excel these days has changed over time. Today, we will be looking at text and soon date functions, which is a move away from working with numeric data. In order to improve the current employee database, we've been asked to list the full name of each employee in column D and to add all the employees' email addresses in column E. The formula that will do this for us is called concat, which is short for concatenate or linking together. It is only available in most of the recent versions of Excel. If you have an older version or work on a Mac, you can use concatenate. They both work in the same way, although Concat has some additional functionality which we will cover through YouTube Shorts. Remember that functions work like mini programs, and all we need to do is to provide exact instructions. We start by typing an equal sign in the cell that we want our result to appear, then start typing the first three letters of the function name, so concatenate, con, arrow down if you need to, and then tab to select the function. Now, we define the first value, and then a comma, followed by a space, which we need to separate the first name and the last name. We have to put the space in quotation marks so that Excel understands it properly and doesn't just ignore it. And lastly, the third element, which we need another comma to separate it, click on cell B4 for this last name and hit enter. There, perfect. The result looks like this. The syntax we need to create this includes three elements: the first name, the space, and the last name separated by commas. We now have the first and last name separated by a space appearing in our cell. Now, all that is left to do is double-click the fill handle in cell D4. There you go, the formula was copied all the way down. One of the quick, alternative, and simple way of linking text together is using the ampersand sign. In other words, rather than using a function, we can use the ampersand to pull text out of separate columns and link them together in a new cell. So let's use this to create the email addresses in column E. While we no longer be using a function, this is still a formula, so we need to start it with equal sign. The elements for this will be the first name, and then a dot, the last name, and the new text element, which is at renderandpublish.com. So now we click on the first name and type the ampersand sign, followed by a dot within a quotation mark, followed by an ampersand sign again. Now click on the last name, followed by an ampersand again, and type in at render and publish.com. This should be inside the quotation mark again. And then click on enter. And there you go. This looks exactly right. It achieves the same effect as the concat function. So take a moment to compare the syntax for the two different approaches and make sure to be back for our YouTube Shorts to study this in just 1 minute. Now, all that is left is to double-click the fill handle in cell E4. to copy down. Both the concat function and the ampersand are quick ways to join data that appears in separate columns. Both approaches allows us to add spaces, other characters, and text into the newly created cell. Just remember to enclose those text elements in quotation marks. One job done, more to go. The text case is still a bit of a mess. And in the next video, we will find out how to use functions to fix this.